So I understand that you have a freebie for all of our listeners out there, laundromat owners.
Yeah,
So
sure.
can you tell them about that? I appreciate you doing that for our viewers. That's fantastic. And by the way, this isn't just for our viewers, my understanding. But yeah, tell them about that if you would.
Yeah. So we believe that there's still so many laundromat owners out there without a, a website, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every business should have one. So at Spynr, we decided we're going to give away free websites, right? So we actually give away a free one-page design. They get the option of 4 different templates, right? Now that free website comes with the subdomain on it, right? Spynrlab.com. So it's your business name .spynrlab.com.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to put their own name on it, it's only $30 a month, right? But still affordable way to get online. And certainly we give out, as many free websites as people want. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And as someone who, started in the industry without any money at all, basically, or spent everything we had real quickly, I guess I should say. That means I spent it all, by the way. She was telling me not to stop. She was telling me to stop spending money, but I didn't listen. I don't listen very well. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I can tell you that there's, any laundromat owner out there, free. You said something about it being affordable. Well, I mean, free is pretty daggone affordable.
Yeah.
Like everybody,
just the $30 a month to have your name on it.
Yeah, I mean, $30 a month for your own, domain and everything, custom domain is obviously well worth it. I'll tell you what. Why don't I let you speak to that? As far as a digital marketing person, I mean, what's the magnification? How important is that having versus not having? Even something as simple as a free one-page website.
Yeah, well, to note that the free one-page website is actually designed for conversion, right? So it's a really well thought out template. All the templates are really well thought out, right? So they have the elements of call to actions right up top, right above the folded page. We want to make sure that people know that you're a laundromat, you're a really good laundromat, and we want to tell them what to do next, right? So fill out a form, for example, get a coupon, or give us your information. Right. So, and then we also add elements of social proof, which are like your testimonials and features and benefits. And then quite honestly, if you're even a multi-store operator, you can add a limited number of stores on this one-page website. So the flexibility with these one-page designs are really are there, right, to grow. But at the same time, they're built with real conversion in mind, right? Turning someone who visits your website into an actual customer of your store. So it's not a cheaply developed website that you're getting that's free and we just don't care, right? We actually put a lot of thought into what goes into the website and the elements. And then we also do the on-page optimization for you. So if you don't know about SEO, we can help you with the on-page part, right? SEO is it's a big thing to tackle, right? There's on-page optimization, there's off-page optimization. 20% of what actually matters is on your website, 80% is what you do off your website. But at least you don't have to think about that 20%, right?
Right.
So having those elements on your website are certainly important. You can add really nice visuals and images. So yeah, we hope that a lot of people in the industry utilize it.
Yeah, that's a fantastic offer, for sure. Thanks for doing that for the industry. So, I gotta back up for a second. You said 20% of, and maybe I'm putting words in your mouth. 20% of what's important in a website is what is the front end. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, but you're saying 80% of what's important is actually the back end, the stuff you don't aesthetically see. Did I hear that right?
Well, let me clarify that, right? So when we talk about search engine optimization specifically, right? Search engine optimization is broken off into 2 elements, right? There's what's called on-page optimization, and there's what's called off-page optimization, right? On-page optimization is everything that you do on your website. So if you ever Google something, you know, the blue line you see, which is a headline text,
Right.
and then that little gray text underneath it is called the metadata description, right? That all comes from your website, right?
So this would be like having keywords on your website that optimize it showing up when someone searches.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm putting it very basic because I don't understand.
No, that's a great way to define it, right? So yes, so each of your pages on your website have a focused keyword, right? That you're targeting. Your home page, your services pages, they all have their own elements. And you have to optimize each page for those specific keywords that you want to rank for, right? So if you have a pickup delivery page, you're more than likely going to have laundry pickup delivery service on there, right?
Yeah.
If you have wash, ray, fold on another one, you're going to optimize that page for wash, ray, fold.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's just having a specific key term. There's, you know, over 250 factors that go into that, right? The way the site load speed, having the right images and tagging them correctly. So many nuances, but unfortunately that is only 20% of what actually matters, right? The 80% is what you do off of your website, right? So Google is taking a look at multiple different factors in terms of relevancy. So what we define as off-page optimization is still the number one aspect of it is what are called backlinks, right? Backlinks are links that exist on other people's websites that point back to yours, right? And Google counts each of those as a vote, right? The more votes you get, the higher you begin to rank. So imagine you're reading a story about going hiking or something, right? And you see the word outdoor gear highlighted, and it goes to like a Panagonia website, right? That's a backlink for outdoor gear, the key term outdoor gear, going back to yours. And there's other low-hanging fruits, right? Like your local listings and things like that. But all of those efforts are designed to gain more backlinks to your website. And that's really what matters.
So how does that compare? I'm going to ask this in a little bit different terms. And that's fantastic, by the way. I mean, I don't claim to be an marketing expert, even though I've been in the industry a long time. I just believe in hiring good people like you to do it and getting out of your way. But I do think it's important to understand it, is my point. So I'm always fascinated to learn. So there's a lot of people in our industry, but a lot of people in other small businesses, which is mainly what our audience is, that build their own websites. And so when they do that, are there not, like, is that 80% not up to snuff? Is that I mean, I'm assuming if they're, I mean, I don't know, but if they're building their own website from like a template from WordPress or something, I mean, I think I've never done it, but I think they're just like point and clicking, right? So is the back end SEO not there, or does like a WordPress situation, I mean, do they take care of that? Or like, I guess what I'm getting at is your website better than a do-it-yourself website?
So, I mean, we certainly put the thought that goes into developing on a WordPress platform or Wix platform. It doesn't really matter the CMS, right? Some CMSs are really well done. It's about making sure that you add the right elements into those sites, right? Making sure you add the right title tags, the right meta description, making sure that you understand what a focus keyword is on your site. So if you're designing it yourself and you have really good SEO understanding, right, you can accomplish this on your own. But what we kind of do is keep up with the latest innovations and strategies for you, right? So that way you don't have to think about, is this right? Is this wrong? Am I getting the right information on this YouTube channel, or am I getting this right information from this blog that I'm not really sure about? So with the deep understanding of the industry, we could certainly do a little bit more research for you too. So I think the benefit there is certainly industry knowledge, right, to a certain degree. And then the fact that you don't have to worry.
Right. Well, I think a lot of these same people, I'm referring to small business owners, because I'm guilty, by the way, in the past. I think a lot of people build a website and maybe put good thoughts into it at the time and even focus on keywords and things like that. But then they tend to just kind of set it and forget it. You made a great point that you're kind of keeping up with it. You're industry experts. You're doing this all day, every day. Your team of, I think you said 17 or 15 people.
13.
13. Okay. So I I guessed 2 numbers and I was wrong on both of them. But anyway, wow, that's fantastic. So anyway, thanks for offering that to, our viewers and to anyone in the industry. I think that's something, I know you and I are aligned when it comes to the mindset of just giving back, bringing value, elevating the industry. And I know that's why you're offering that, knowing that a lot of these people may never become paid clients, but you just understand it's important and it's kind of your way of giving back to the industry. That's pretty fantastic for doing that for sure. One of the questions I have, as I said at the beginning, that we were going to drop some nuggets, and you've already dropped like probably 3 dozen, which is awesome. But if there's a small business owner that is starting out, laundromat industry or not, and they are kind of by necessity, DIY their digital marketing, is there a few like just baseline foundational things that are kind of easier for the do-it-yourselfer to pull off that are like going to bring them a really substantial return on their investment? Like it's something, the free website, for example. I mean, it's kind of crazy not to take advantage of that as an example. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah. So I obviously get a website, right? It's the foundation of everything you're going to do online, right? And if you're not taking our free website, go get a website done, right? So I think that's really important because people are going to research you. And with that said, a Google My Business profile is free to
Right.
get set up, right? And that is essentially where people are going to search for when they're looking at transactional keywords like laundromat near me, right? So you have to think about those lower hanging fruits, on search, and then certainly encourage people to leave reviews. Google's algorithm update possum kind of defined that businesses who play dead like a possum are not going to be seen, right? So you need to encourage people to leave reviews on your profile. Make sure that you update it with some offers. If you're doing like a happy hour, Wednesday special for your customers, put it up on Google. Use that as your means of communicating. And of course, your social media profiles, create them, right? Social media platforms are search engines too, right? They're just more search for people, right? But at the same time, you can leverage the opportunity to have a profile established on Facebook, Instagram, right? Twitter even. So kind of make sure your local citations are also accurate. So those are your local listings. So you can get a company like an aggregator, like a Yext or something like that, and make sure that you have all of the listings accurate, across the board. Those are dependent on how a lot of people search for laundromats, right? Those are key elements that you need to establish first in order to succeed later. Yeah.
Right. Wow. And those are all things that can be done for free, you're saying?
Absolutely.
And fairly, even if it's someone like me who can barely get a mouse to work, then it's not only, I mean, my point is, it's not something that just Dennis Diaz, who is a digital marketing expert, can do, but it's really anyone that just knows how to functionally use a computer, can do fairly simply. I mean, I assume like Google My Business, things like that. I mean, they're pretty user friendly, right? I mean, they're made for people like you, obviously, but they're also made for the average person that's doing it on their own. Is that a fair statement? I mean, really what I'm getting at is people shouldn't be intimidated by trying to do those things themselves.
Absolutely not. So I think that's really important, that a lot of business owners know that these are accessible and Google wants you to do well on them, right?
Right.
So making sure that you take the time to do that is really important, and they make it really easy.
All right. So the last question I have for you is a question that I ask all of our guests. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
You can't quote the whole Dale Carnegie book. I
No.
know.
I think the best quote that I've heard recently is, when you are moving, keep moving, maintain the momentum. That was James Clear, who is the author of Atomic Habits. We need to give ourselves a lot of credit as entrepreneurs, right? We knew that it wasn't going to be an easy road. right?
Yeah.
We know that this is not for everyone, right? But we need to keep going and keep innovating and keep finding ways to do meaningful things in the world, right? And to my earlier point, make sure you have a good tribe, right? Because you're only going to survive and thrive in good tribes.
Yeah. Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, the people are important. I mean, and that's where we try to focus.
Yeah. Yes,
Right.
absolutely. I appreciate you sharing that with us. So listen, how can people reach Dennis Diaz? How can people reach Spynr? How can they reach out to you and take advantage of this free website that you're offering? How can they reach out to you and take advantage of that?
Yeah. So you can just email me, right? I'm
Okay.
pretty direct, right? Dennis@spynr.com,
Mhm.
DENNIS@SPYNR.com.
No vowels.
No
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 vowels,
vowels.
vowels.
folks.
Well, in Dennis, but not Spinner.
Okay, that's true. Good
Hey,
point. Leave it to the teacher to correct me.
I
Teachers
know.
have been correcting me my whole life.
Yeah. For the free website, you could go right to go.spynr.com
Okay.
slash free laundry website
Okay.
and uh, and like fill out the form and we'll get it for you. Of course, you can always just email me and I'll get you in touch with the right people.
Mhm.